everyone, it's Brennan. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. Today I'm doing the mid-year book freakout tag. This video should be going up on May 30th, which means 2021 is almost halfway over, and it is time to film this book tag. I've watched this book tag for so long, and now I have a booktube channel, and I'm gonna film it. Super exciting. Also, May is Lupus Awareness Month. Lupus is an autoimmune disease, and it affects a few of my family and friends, and Manda from Ginger Snapped Reads reached out to a bunch of us here on booktube and asked if we wanted to wear purple on May 30th and upload a video just to show support, show empathy with people dealing with autoimmune diseases, chronic diseases, and I was super happy to join them. And there were so many people who responded to her message, and I will just try my best to link as many of them below. So check out their channels today, see if they're wearing purple in their videos that they upload. But I was super excited, like I said, to help support this cause. And I will try to link also like any kind of like lupus resources below as well. Manda also mentioned a book that is on her radar. It's called Underneath the Sycamore Tree by B. Celeste, and it is a romance with some lupus representation in it, so I'm super interested to look into that also. But without further ado, let's get into this book tag. Also, my phone case is purple too, so doesn't that just work out? I'm going to be looking at it a lot to look at these questions. Question number 1 is the best book you've read so far this year. That is such a hard question because I've read so many good books, but I'm just like such a booktube newbie that I'm doing a lot of backlist reading, and that just consists of good books. So my favorite book that I've read so far this year, it might be Circe by Madeline Miller. That book is just like stunning. The cover's stunning, the story is stunning, the characters are stunning. I ate that book up. I loved it so much. I listened to the audio performance was so good. But some other amazing books I read Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson, super anticipated 4th book in his Stormlight Archive series. Amazing. I am invested in these characters' lives, and I just want to know everything about them and the world that they live in. And that's like an adult epic fantasy. So like probably those two are competing for the best book I've read so far this year. Oh my gosh, but also like, can we talk about Zodiac Academy? I don't have to ask permission to talk about that. Zodiac Academy, it's a series by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. It's a Kindle Unlimited, like indie published fantasy romance series. And it's like big on the bully romance, which apparently I just am here for. And while I've only given like 1 or 2 of the books in this series 5 stars, it is just so all-consuming that I have to mention it. Question 2 is the best sequel you've read so far in 2020. So definitely Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. Like I've mentioned already, I just want to know everything that Kaladin Stormblessed does. He is my boy. So definitely that, but also last night I read the 2nd book in Tessa Bailey's Hot and Hammered series, Love Her or Lose Her, and oh man, this series is just for me. It really personally upsets me that these books have like less than 4 stars, like more to the mid 3.5 star rating on Goodreads, but I love them. Can't wait to read the 3rd book in this series. I've heard it is super good too, but book 2, amazing. I gave it 5 stars. Gave the 1st book 5 stars also. Fix Her Up was one of my top books of 2020. Question 3 is a new release you haven't read yet but want to. I will blurb the Sugar and Spice book club, which is run by my friends Amanda, who I've already mentioned, from Ginger Snapped Reads, and Kirsten from Kirsten's Corner. They have kept me on my toes with the new romance releases. So some ones I'm super excited about are People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I haven't read Beach Read, but I'm going to read both of these like next week. Question 4 is most anticipated release for the 2nd half of the year. Definitely Tessa Bailey's book coming out. It happened one summer. It comes out July 13th. I can't wait for it, but also Penelope Douglas has some new books coming out. Tris 6 Venom comes out like very soon, like June 3rd, and I'm super excited about that. It's a female bully romance. So excited. The cover is like indie heaven. And I'm excited about all of Penelope Douglas's books coming out. I think she has like a few more coming out this year. Question 5 is biggest disappointment. I haven't really read that many disappointing books. Oh, you know what? The Song of Achilles was a pretty big disappointment by Madeline Miller because I've heard such good things, and it's Greek mythology, which I love, but the plot was just a little bit petty for me. And you know what? That's not Madeline Miller's fault. That's just the story of Troy and how it is, and Greek mythology, and it was a little too tragic, but again, that's just Greek mythology. But then I read Circe, which was one of my favorite books of the year. So we'll just talk about Madeline Miller. Great books. Didn't love the story for The Song of Achilles, but I loved Circe. I'll just mention it again. Question 6 is biggest surprise. And that definitely has to be Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. I read this recently in a collab video with Kirsten from Kirsten's Corner. This is a young adult contemporary romance and I loved it so much. I will link my video where I talk more about it, but it just had so many things that I love in a book. Multiple first person perspectives, food descriptions, and like coming of age and like stepping out of the role you play in your family dynamics. I loved it. I loved it so much. I was so surprised because I just don't read too many young adult contemporaries, but quality literature there. I gave that 5 stars. Number 7 is favorite new author, debut or new to you. I don't really know if I've read too many debut authors this year. Like I said, I'm just kind of like new to reading again. But Tessa Bailey, definitely, she was kind of new to me. I read Fix Her Up in December of last year, and then I read a couple more of her books. Just the perfect romance for me. It's a great mix between traditional but like indie, like smut scenes. It's just so good. Tessa Bailey, definitely. And Colleen Hoover, I started into her like last year and I've read more of her this year. Colleen Hoover's relationships and just like the mess in her books are everything to me. They're so good. Can't wait to read more of her. Oh, question 8 is newest fictional crush. I'm gonna have to mention Zodiac Academy again and say Darius. And I feel like no one has read this series. Like no one I know on BookTube here has read this series, so no one's going to know this. But Darius is like the bad boy, the leather wearing, tattooed, motorcycle riding bad boy, and he's like a pretty big love interest in our story, and his just like dedication that he gets for his girl eventually, it's let me control myself, it's so good. Also, he's a dragon. He can shift into a dragon. That's a lot. I'm sorry, that was a lot, but Darius. Question 9 is newest favorite character. I love Vasya from Catherine Arden's Winter Night trilogy. I'll link my video where I talk about it below. I do like a wrap up of it. She like knows herself and she is self-motivated and she's driven and she wants to help her friends and family, but she also knows like what's important to herself. And she is just an amazing young adult fantasy character. She's brave, she goes on adventures, but she's also like still got that young adult like teenage naivety almost. It's just like really good. Vasya is an amazing character. I would recommend this series if you like amazing characters. Question 10 is a book that made you cry. I definitely cried in the last book, The Winter of the Witch in Catherine Arden's Winter Night trilogy. I definitely cried in that. I teared up during one chapter in Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. It's these fantasy books that make me cry. It's because I get so invested in them. Like a fantasy plot can just get you so invested in it. So those are some that I've cried in. What else? Zodiac Academy has made me like rage and kick things and throw my phone. No, I haven't really done any of that, but I want to on the inside because the problems that they have and the like keeping characters apart is just like, it's a lot in that series. So like I haven't cried, but I have been in emotional distress from that series. Question 11 is a book that made you happy. All of the romance that I read. Oh my gosh, and the young adults that I read in my video with Kirsten. Tweet Cute, so happy. 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston. So happy, just like so lighthearted and fun. But really all the books I read make me happy. For the most part. The Song of Achilles did not make me happy. But like just reading makes me happy. 12 is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. I've bought so many books this year. Who's pretty over here? This is like kind of a cop-out because I just got this book in the mail yesterday because it just released, but this is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. This is a hardcover traditional romance. I was like so surprised when I got this in the mail. I'm sure it said hardcover on it when I ordered it, but I don't have any hardcover romances. And it's like kind of like shiny and it's like a heart and DNA and like, I don't know. I don't even like really know what this book is about. But it's an adult romance new release and I like to be in the know with those. Let's look at what the naked book looks like. And we have like just this nice bright yellow. We'll go with that one because I'm having sensory overload with the amount of books I've bought this year. Question 13 is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I'll link below my 21 books I want to read in 2021. I filmed that video like in January, and I don't know how I'm doing on it, honestly. I've kind of forgotten the books I've put on there, and I don't really want to go back and look. But I want to continue with Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn world. This is the Alloy of Law. It's a trilogy after the Mistborn trilogy, which is like an adult fantasy dystopian almost, and I really want to read it. I really want to read Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I hear that this is really, really good, and I feel like I will probably like it a lot. All the books on my bookshelf that I haven't read yet, which is the majority, which is embarrassing, but it's a truth about me. A bunch of Riley Sager books. He has a new book coming out this summer that I want to read, but I actually think I have all of his books except Lock Every Door, which is funny because I probably like that cover the most. Question 14 is favorite video or post you've done so far this year. Probably my collab with Kirsten. It was just so much fun reading some of her favorite books and her reading some of my favorite books and like hearing her real-time commentary on her thoughts. I loved that. I'll link her video and my video below if you're interested in that, where she read some of my favorite new adult books and I read some of her favorite young adult books. But also like my book stats video that I did at the beginning of the year, wrapping up my last year's stats. I just like to know like the genres I read and things like that. And also my Posse's video where I read a bunch of Posse's inspired or recommended books. I really enjoyed doing that one too. Those are more like the secret TBR type videos, and it's always like really rewarding when you can finish one of those. Question 15, the last question, is favorite book community members. I have gone on and on about Manda and Kirsten in this video. So Ginger Snapped Reads and Kirsten's Corner, Christine and Mo from the Roomies Digest, Caroline, her channel's Caroline Johnson, Jess from Books Past Bedtime. I am so surprised at how many friends I've made in the YouTube world because like, I don't know, in real life, like I'm not it's not that I'm not friendly. I just like am not as good at forming friendships as some people seem to be. So to have like my friends here in my cyber world, it's been a lot of fun. So thank all of you all for watching this video. Consider yourselves tagged to do this. I love this book tag. Like literally, I'm so excited to be filming this. I know I said that already, but I will be so excited to watch your all's videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one.